Hi, this is Brian French, and welcome to the Marketing Freak Show. If you need to contact me directly, you're welcome to visit my website, floridawebsitemarketing.com, and you can call me at 813-944-3190. That's 813-944-3190. Today's important subject is Internet Identity Building. Now, what is Internet Identity Building? Internet identity building is a recognition that a lot of your activities in your business are actually being recorded and are on the internet for the masses to see. And so your potential clients can see all the indexed information about you. And so it's very important for you to have an understanding of how to maximize and optimize the favorable search results that come up when people search for, let's say, your name and your occupation. And so, why is this important? It's important because the internet is probably the most important and widely used tool to investigate, analyze, and validate a person's business skills and their authority and their reputation. So people will make a conclusion about you depending upon what they see listed under, let's say, your name and your profession. So it's very common that even when somebody's looking for a job, people will use that individual's name and do a search to see what turns up. So it's in everybody's best interest to have the most favorable information displayed about them when people do a search for their name and occupation. Again, a person's professional skills will be displayed, how effective they are, and it tells virtually all web browsers, people who are on the internet looking and searching, who you are. And it'll determine whether or not you're a leader, whether or not your products and services are effective, whether or not you have fans out there. Another thing about the internet is that it will kind of give people a sense of your celebrity value or how noteworthy you are in a bigger, picture. So if your name comes up when people search for it, obviously you have a higher degree of authority than people whose names do not appear. It'll also show, whether or not, there's so many different index pages about you on the internet. So things like, are your clients happy? And do you have a big time reputation? So let's look at all the things that make up your internet identity. Basically, the results that appear when people do a search for you are the index pages about you. So it used to be that people would say, well, that's my web page. Well, it's not simply your web page. It'll be actually all the information about you about maybe, let's say, social media. So all of your accounts in social media could appear when people Google your name and occupation. So it could be your Facebook account. It could be your LinkedIn profile. It could be your Twitter account. And it can also be things like whether or not you're a member of a certain organization or in a directory, let's say. So it can be your directory listing in Yelp. It can be, all the different citation services out there. So the more favorable index pages that you have about yourself, the more noteworthy you will become online. So it can include things like articles that you've written. Have you written an op-ed for a newspaper? Do you lead in any organizations? Okay. So obviously if you're a leader in your industry and you lead, a group of people in your profession, that is an authority kind of example of how you are a leader in your industry. Do you have any kind of let's call it special and unique media resources? Do you do YouTube videos? YouTube videos will also appear when people do a search for your name and profession. Any pictures of yourself that are properly labeled will also be indexed by Google. So you can see every picture of yourself online could, point to people to you, and could highly identifiable when people see your picture online. It's like, they see your picture and they need to follow that pathway to get more information. We're going to kind of give you an example of what we think, a good internet identity building program would look like. And I'm actually going to go to Google search, and what we'll do is we'll go to Google search, and I'll use my internet identity profile as an example. So I'm going to go Brian French Marketing. Okay, and this will give you an example of what's out there about Brian French, what's out there about me. So here is the search results for Brian French Marketing. The first is one of the companies that I have a strong business relationship with, called Boardroom Communications. So there's my profile with this company. And then you can see here is the second listing is my profile under LinkedIn. And you can see it also displays my targeted keyword attorney internet marketing. So that's part of what I do for a living. You can see the third listing is my radio show. So the Marketing Freak Show radio show is what you're listening to now. And then it kind of goes on and on. So here is a meetup group that I lead in the Tampa Bay area that deals with internet marketing. Here is a radio show interview that I did with a friend named Steve Scott. So he published our radio show on his webpage, and that got indexed by Google. So that's good for his online identity as well as my own. The next listing here is my bio, and it's a PDF, so people can download my background and learn all the things we do to help people. Following that is a YouTube video. Okay, so we've gone through 6 or 7 listings, and so here is my YouTube video, which appears and people can play. The listing after that is my website, estatesettlement.com, which is a major part of what we do. And then you can see the final listing is about one of the blog articles that I've written, and it was indexed by Google. So you can see when people search under my name and my profession, there are 38 million different index pages that are indexed under Brian French Marketing. But I have the top 8 or 9 positions for my profession. When I talk to, let's say, a proposed client or somebody who wants to look at my background, goes to Google, the information's there so they can make a judgment about how I help people on a variety of subjects. So they can see that I do internet marketing for attorneys, that I have a radio show, that here's my resume, I lead groups in a local networking events, and so they can go to our Tampa Internet Marketing Group, as well as our larger groups, and see that we lead groups that have over 2,000 people in it. That's an example of a considerable amount of work to build my internet identity, but also understand that people are going to do a similar search for you and your profession. And so having favorable information appear, and what can also happen is that there could be conceivably negative information that appears. And so that is called reputation management, which is part of the management of your internet identity profile. So if people were to search and they were to get negative information about you, you need to kind of manage that and mitigate that. So not only do you need to build an identity online, you have to manage that. So you obviously want the most favorable information about what you do to appear most prominently in search engines. And so what does that entail? Well, obviously it entails joining a variety of different platforms online, like a meetup group, like having YouTube videos, like having a radio show, like publishing your background and profile in a PDF form, having multiple memberships. So you can see that this is well beyond simply having a website, or well beyond simply having an account on Facebook or LinkedIn. Now, what also is significant is that you can see that these rank high. So it is possible that you could have all of those accounts, but they could not, it's a fact that they may not appear prominently on the first page of Google. So there is search engine optimization involved of maximizing the visibility of all your favorable index pages on the internet. That is something that we are coaching people, and we have a membership program where people want to develop this. You can see that this is the big picture of your reputation. And so this is something that you want to work on over not just months, but most certainly years, because this information will follow you throughout your career and throughout your lifetime. So the information in index pages will most likely stay up there for time immemorial. To manage this on a consistent and organized methodology is something that is really important to do. If this is something that you would like to address in building your internet identity, you're welcome to call me at 813-944-3190, and you can email me at brian@floridawebsitemarketing.com. We do give a free consultation to get the ball rolling when it comes to building your internet identity, and so we would be happy to provide that. So just give us a call at 813-944-3190, or drop me an email at brian@floridawebsitemarketing.com. This is Brian French with the Marketing Freak Show, and thank you for listening, and have a great day.